Public blockchain environments operate like glass labyrinths. Every move is visible. For high-volume institutional borrowers, this transparency creates a predatory environment where liquidation hunters and MEV extractors actively analyze mempools to front-run large positions. By 2026, corporate treasuries and asset managers require transactional privacy. To safely deploy nine-figure credit lines, they need the ability to mask their collateral ratios and market positioning from the public ledger entirely. Enter Alpend. Built natively on the Canton network by Palladium Labs, Alpend is deployed specifically to provide these compliant, institution-ready credit rails. This diagram illustrates the architectural difference. On the left, traditional public pools leave data exposed. On the right, Alpend utilizes Canton's selective disclosure capabilities. All deposits and lending strategies are isolated within encrypted, private synchronization domains, operating behind an opaque boundary. This privacy-preserving model has already secured massive institutional traction. Major financial entities like DTCC, Goldman Sachs, and HSBC are actively executing workflows across these isolated domains. But isolating data creates a structural conflict. The Canton network distributes its block rewards based on mathematical proof of a protocol's transaction volume. That volume must be verified by a central public ledger. To earn those network rewards, an application must continually prove the scale of its activity to a public synchronizer. If Alpend transmits that raw data, it compromises the exact cryptographic shield its institutional clients require. How does a protocol claim public yield based on transactions that are actively hidden from the network sequencer? To function as a viable institutional primitive, Alpend must execute a perfect cryptographic bridge. It has to translate private economic activity into public validation without leaking a single detail about its users. Looking at this contract dashboard on Base, you will see an EVM-compatible Alpend token, but the circulating supply and market capitalization sit exactly at zero. There is no active trading history. Alpend entirely bypassed the standard retail liquidity model. There is no dilutive, highly speculative governance token used to attract early capital. Instead, the system relies on Canton Coin, or CC, the native utility token of the synchronizer. Canton Coin launched with zero venture capital allocations, no pre-mines, and no ICOs. This flow diagram maps out Canton's burn-mint equilibrium. The economics are straightforward. Transaction fees paid by users are permanently destroyed in a furnace mechanism. In response, new Canton coins are programmatically minted to active network contributors along a predictable supply curve. Those newly minted tokens are distributed on a strict schedule. Standard and super validators receive a combined minority share, while the dominant stream, 50.87% of all newly generated tokens, is routed directly to what the network calls featured apps. To offer highly competitive lending rates, Alpend must capture its portion of that dominant 50.87% reward share. By aggressively capturing the network's foundational monetary policy and routing those newly minted tokens directly to capital providers, Alpend engineers its yield without inflating a speculative asset. The mechanism Alpend uses to bridge its private state with that public reward stream is the activity marker. This animation represents a private DAML smart contract. Every time a deposit, borrow, or liquidation executes in secret, the contract consumes a small Canton coin fee and ejects a cryptographic activity marker. These markers represent pure, abstract economic weight. They carry no sensitive user data. At the end of each epoch, they are batched and validated by the Layer 1 ledger, which triggers the release of the newly minted Canton coin rewards back to Alpend. This system immediately invites a clear exploit vector, automated wash trading. A user could write a script to rapidly deposit and borrow the same asset in a loop, generating massive amounts of artificial markers to farm rewards. To prevent this, Alpend enforces strict protocol-level firewalls. The first is Alpend blocks the marker generation entirely. The second firewall relies on mandatory cooldowns, enforcing wait times between consecutive state modifications, so rapid-fire actions fail to trigger validation. Third, minimum value constraints dictate that only high-value, institutional-scale volume qualifies for marker generation in the first place. Finally, network access requires verified Canton IDs linked directly to institutional KYC and AML records, neutralizing anonymous Sybil attacks. By stripping complex financial data down to strictly filtered, zero-knowledge weights, Alpend proves the legitimacy of its volume to the sequencer, while keeping its clients' corporate strategies entirely hidden. Alpend's structural design forces all fee-generating events, its interest rate spreads, origination fees, and liquidation penalties, directly into the protocol's reserves, bypassing any central treasury. Depositors on Alpend receive an amplified APY. They earn the pool's organic borrowing interest, stacked on top of the programmatically minted Canton Coin distributions. Structured finance protocols build directly on top of this. Ditto Network developed a suite of tokenized yield vaults designed specifically to harvest this dual yield structure. This flowchart tracks Ditto's primary asset, DVUSDCX Core. It acts as an inbound software network, aggregating stablecoin capital from Ethereum and routing it across the bridge into Canton's ecosystem, depositing straight into Alpend. Once inside, Ditto executes a recursive strategy. It supplies the stablecoin to Alpend, borrows against that collateral, swaps the borrowed funds for yield-bearing assets on Cantex, and loops it back into Alpend as a new supply. This loop maximizes capital efficiency. It aggressively stacks the organic interest rates alongside maximum Canton Coin reward extraction, pushing the aggregate stablecoin yield toward a target of 8. This action instantly severed the protocol's direct pipeline to the Layer 1 reward mint. Looking closely at this CC View terminal interface, we can see what triggered the suspension. An investigation by Palladium Labs CEO Akash Gaurav revealed it was a clerical data entry error, creating a massive visualization mismatch. A simple mix-up between Alpend's issuer and non-issuer party IDs caused the public UI to display a highly inflated artificial number of activity markers that the protocol had never actually submitted. This was an administrative glitch regarding display data. It contrasts sharply with the technical failure of RapidChain, an independent execution layer on the network. RapidChain experienced a genuine execution bug during a stress test. A debug parameter was left active in production, causing their marker ratio to spike by 885%. Alpend's error was purely visual, yet the network response was identical. As we see, Canton intervenes aggressively to protect its monetary policy. The CIP 116 standard requires featured apps to lock up 5 million Canton coins up front. Furthermore, under CIP TBD, newly minted rewards are held in an observation window for roughly 7 days. Those rewards are only released from escrow if the protocol's mathematical coverage ratio, the exact ratio of fees burned to marker submitted, remains healthy without raising any manual review flags. Institutional networks treat any compliance anomaly as a systemic threat to their monetary policy. Even a superficial reporting error will trigger an immediate L1 quarantine. Public, permissionless blockchains like Ethereum and Solana operate on a single core philosophy. Liveness is the ultimate priority. The chain must keep producing blocks, and applications must remain interactive. On public EVMs, a front-end visualization error or a UI glitch never results in a top-down programmatic suspension of a smart contract's economic connectivity. The Canton network functions differently. Here, strict system-wide economic discipline and state synchronization supersede uninterrupted liveness. Because featured apps dictate the minting curve of the native coin, L1 governance acts as a definitive kill switch against any perceived misconduct or data mismatch. This diagram shows how Alpend navigated the suspension. They bypassed the L1 administrative bottleneck by routing capital through alternative, compliance-aware execution layers, maintaining active yields even with their primary status paused. This pivot to an unfeatured app hybrid architecture successfully uncoupled their high-frequency execution matching from the underlying L1 reward sequencer. Alpend proves that deep, subsidized institutional yield is possible without relying on volatile native tokens. It can be constructed entirely on the back of programmatic burn-mint equilibrium frameworks. For developers targeting corporate treasuries in 2026, building enterprise infrastructure requires decoupling execution from L1 anchoring to survive the uncompromising regulatory tolerances of institutional blockchains.